and industries and communities, livelihoods, and neighborhoods. Americans needed vehicles worthy of who they are and what they can do. So, he built them a truck.
Everyone says they want to change the world. But not everyone will. We are not everyone.
Pierre Governors soccer begins an afternoon at home, and both teams try to recover from a tough Saturday in Aberdeen against good Central Golden Eagle teams. Both teams shut out on Saturday. The boys, playing first today, fell to 3-2 with that loss. They're back at action today. Miguel Manriquez's team takes on the Watertown Arrows. We are at the soccer complex at the Pierre Indian Learning Center. With Dave Williams, I'm David Burrell. Thank you for joining us on GoGovs Live and at the River 92.7 page of the DRG News app and at drgnews.com. You know Big Daddy from mornings on KGFX, afternoons on KPLO. You've watched a little soccer in your time, though.
Oh yeah, played a little, watched a lot.
Yes.
So it's always fun to get out on the pitch and enjoy a game.
Starting lineups on the way for you, but let's take a break. This is Pierre Governors Soccer on GoGovs Live and the River 92.7 page of the DRG News app and drgnews.com.
The Fieldhouse in Pierre is your premier spot to watch all the sports from your local Govs and Lady Govs, as well as Buffs and Lady Buffs, all the way up to your favorite big league teams. Kick back and relax with a pizza, nachos, burgers, or one of our air-fried appetizers. Wash down the food with your pick from our array of premium beverages. Between the action, be sure to check out the unique and plentiful memorabilia throughout the building. We can't wait for you to come in and watch the games with us, broadcast on liveticket.tv. The Fieldhouse in Pierre.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Knowles wants to run again, and he's got room. 40, 30, foot race to the 10, 5, and a touchdown. Pierre will come back and set up Avery Kaiser on the outside left through the block, and that's down.
The official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7, and also at the River 92.7 page of the DRG News app, brought to you by Golden Buffalo and drgnews.com.
Dosey's Signs in Chamberlain isn't your run-of-the-mill sign shop. Todd and Doug take the time to listen to your needs and come up with an innovative and effective design to fit your budget and take your advertising to the next level. Dosey's specializes in any size or event sporting banners, storefronts and awnings, and letters or numbers for windows, vehicle boats, and enclosed trailers. Need something more flashy? We can do a vehicle wrap, illuminated signs, billboards, and LED lighting. If you can dream it, we can design and build it. Dosey's is a proud sponsor of local sports and communities activities. At DK Auto Repair in Pierre, we take pride in our fast and professional auto service. Our well-trained techs specialize in transmission repair, tune-ups, brake service, suspension engine repair, auto diagnostics, and general maintenance repairs and oil changes. Making sure you and your family get from point A to point Z and all points in between is what motivates us to provide you exceptional service. At DK Auto Repair, we proudly support every Pierre Governors event, the students involved, and their families.
Of all the things you can teach a child, how to handle money is one of the most important. Their knowledge, discipline, and control in the area of money will follow them wherever they may go, and in every area of their life. Teach them the facts of money. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
You're going to be able to hear it. That is the wind, and it's out of the southeast on this day that is in the low 80s. At least it's not in the mid 90s, but it's almost going to be a headwind for the team that'll move from left to right, and that'll be the Pierre Governors in green in this first half, and we'll set the lineups in a moment. But Dave, it's like any other outdoor sport. The wind can make a difference.
It really can, especially when you're a goalkeeper looking to punt it forward. You've really got to make sure you pay attention to where the wind's blowing, so you you don't have any mistakes.
Yeah, and it's a Pierre Governor team that, again, coming off a difficult day. Now, they won the toss, but they decided on which end of the field they wanted. And as you can imagine, they're going to go with this wind in the first half. Pierre in green, they'll attack from left to right. And that's Watertown in the white and purple trimmed in gold, their colors. We hope you enjoy the action, and we're very glad to have you with us. And as we move along, we will set the lineups. First for Watertown, Dustin Hertz's team. They do have a draw, but that's their only point so far in 5 matches. They're 0-4-1. It's been a struggle for the Arrows, as it has been for the last few years. But this is Watertown's lineup. In goal for them is Blake Height. And this is an 8th grader, so for a young man, a lot of pressure to be a keeper on a varsity team. That play offside, that would not have gone for anything. For Watertown also, number 3 is Andrew Check. He's a defender. And also in the back, Connor Schlott, number 11. Logan Stimson, number 14, Tommy Foley, number 23, and Ethan Bowling, number 30 in white. Hunter Mitchell, number 8 in the midfield. Jackson Fletcher up front. He is number 13. Jaden Linder, number 17, their striker, and their leading goal scorer with 3 is Ryan Roby. But this is Pierre on the attack, and immediately Blake Height is tested, and the 8th grader has to deal with a difficult play as Rylan Derry was in with a good chance for Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre's really jumping on the ball, forcing some turnovers early, just wanting to, get that first strike.
That is Caden Thompson with the ball right here, the junior midfielder. Peter Tomte on the back. Caden Morris, number 2, the freshman. Tomte's a senior. Thompson is a junior. Nathan Ershman, the junior, wearing number 5. Casey Browers, the junior, number 8 for the team in green. Rylan Derry, the junior, number 9. He is a great setup man for this team. Devin Flotmeyer, the junior, wearing 10. Jeremy Knigge, number 16, the senior. Cordell Schlickenmeyer, the junior, at 17. Of course, it's Carson Ahart's in goal to the left, wearing the gray, number 23. But the man to watch is 11 in green, and that's Cole Peterson. And here he is down the left flank. Stopping it for a moment was Height, and Watertown able to clear. Peterson has 10 goals. That's as much as anybody in the state. He's also the place kicker for Governor football, of course. He's the go-to guy.
Big save there by Height, but lucky for him there were no other Governors around, or that would have been an easy goal.
He had a terrific chance, it looked, for a moment. But Peterson is wanting to do that. He will take those one-on-one rushes because he knows he's got that great foot, certainly, but he's also got pretty good speed. It's hard for other defenders to catch up with. And in Watertown here, just trying to take any opportunity that they can, but the foul will lead to a restart here. It's just something that you have to deal with, especially Watertown going basically for the most part. It's not completely against the wind, but they do get a free kick opportunity here. We're in the 5th minute. As you know, if you follow high school soccer, 2 40-minute halves, no problem there for Ahart's off the kick for his first save. Governors have had a couple of shots already. That was Watertown's first. We're just underway. We're glad you're with us. Go Govs Live is the place for, well, everything Pierre Sports, but we'll be here for the rest of the home matches for Governor Soccer. Girls coming up a little bit later. Their first loss came at Aberdeen Central on Saturday. In fact, they hadn't even been scored upon until Saturday when Aberdeen Central netted 4.
Yeah, I'm sure they're itching to get back out and get rolling again. You want to come back as quick as you can.
Good idea on the cross, but again, that wind might cause a little problem. Another opportunity. Linder, and Ahart's had to come out with his leg.
What a save that was! My goodness! And Governors quickly get it out to the opposite field on the wing. They've been doing a good job of keeping things moving over there and trying to get upfield with it.
Well, the first save for Carson Ahart's wasn't so tough. That second one was a little bit more difficult.
It was. He was up to the task.
Cordell Schlickenmeyer starting again, and Ahart's will restart. Just about 5 minutes played. Ethan Bowling with a good takeaway. And this is what Watertown needs to do against and they're in a situation where they know they're going against a team with, frankly, more talent. They've got to try to control the ball as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, that was a good job of being methodical with it, trying to find the right person. But you got to make those quick decisions because Pierre is just, quickly surrounding them, going after the ball.
Well, that's why it'll be so important for Watertown to complete passes today. That's easier said than done. Look out, here comes Ryland Derry down the right flank. Overran it a little bit in Watertown, not doing, in fact, quite well. Tommy Foley did well to come back there, 23 and white.
Yeah, didn't have the numbers to find anybody for an outlet pass there.
Looking for the game's first goal. Oh, good one ahead for Ryan Roby. He's their leading scorer so far. That one, not a problem for A-Hearts, but good lead by Ethan Bowling.
Yeah, that was a great pass up the field. Man, he put it right where his teammate could find it, get a good shot, and he did, but, the goalie was there. He was ready and took that one in pretty easy.
I would say, and I know it's only 6 minutes, but Dustin Hertz and Watertown really have to be pleased with the way they're starting here.
Yeah, they're looking really good so far. Right off the bat, they were getting kind of overwhelmed by the Governors, but now they've seemed to have settled in a little bit more, and they're doing better with their passing.
Wallenmeyer. Boy, Fletchner has been around the ball lately, and he has put it in. Not against the run of play, but against what many people may have expected. Watertown has scored first.
Yeah, I don't know if A-Hearts really had a good look at that. He had some of his defense in front of him, and I think he got blocked on that shot. He really couldn't see it until it went past him. That was just a nice shot into the back corner of the net.
Fitchner with a goal, and Watertown has broken on top here in the 7th minute. A very, very, and again, Watertown deserves this lead the way they played so far.
Yeah, they've really turned it on. They started to take over control, being more methodical, being more efficient with their passing, and they worked that. They took advantage of a great opportunity right there.
Ryland Derry puts it down. Once Peterson, who comes up to it, kept the play onside, and it's even. And Peterson knew there was a teammate coming up ahead. That was almost instinct right there, and we're 1-1 off the goal by Casey Brewers.
Yeah, that was a great play. They worked well together, and the goalie can only defend one guy. He did, and then the rebound was right there. And the Governors, that's what they needed to do. Giving up that goal, just turn around, come back, and put one in, and get things back even again.
1-1, Brewers in the 8th minute after Feichtner had scored for Watertown in minute 7. Now Jaden Lindner comes out. Devin Snyder wearing 7 in white. He's a freshman in for the Watertown Arrows, who had a lead for about 40 seconds. But the Governors took advantage, and that you saw 9 in green. That is what Ryland Derry does for them from the midfield. 1-1. And you know now, and it was the case after they gave up the first one, Pierre's going to push every time they have an opportunity right here with Devin Flopmeyer. And sends it wide, but not a bad opportunity from that position, but a goal kick coming up for the Watertown Arrows.
Yeah, they had Bertram on that side of the goal, and they were trying to see if they could make something happen there. Just the pass just a little off, but it was a good idea trying to make something happen there.
That's Landon Bertram, the junior, wearing 19 in green. Watertown again just trying to control it with Noah Wallenmeyer. They scored first, but Pierre scored less than a minute after that, although Hunter Mitchell trying to make a good run here. And a good block in front. We are out in the open, as you can tell. We apologize. There's not, even though our mics do have windscreens, there's just not really a whole lot to keep you from hearing that wind. Ryland Derry, trying to make his way past Height. He does!
Makes it look easy there, my goodness. Yeah, he just had the ball. It was him and the goalie. if you can fake him out, it's all yours. And he just walked that one in.
So Derry in the 9th minute, after Brewers had scored in the 8th, after Feichner had scored for Watertown in the 7th. It's 2-1 Pierre. This will happen in high school soccer sometimes, flurries of goals like this. But maybe a little bit of a wake-up call for Miguel Manriquez's Pierre team after they gave up the first one. Up, here goes Cole Peterson. And again, you see 2 and 3 guys trying to keep up with him, and a good play back there by Devin Snyder.
Yeah, tough to keep up with him. And like you said, that first goal, sometimes as a coach, you kind of say, we need something like that to kick these guys in the butt. You just don't want to get too far behind, but they just bounced right back, as we've seen.
Yeah, a little bit of a kick in the rear end, yes. Derry, good opportunity, but there is Heights. Fifth shot for Pierre. 2, of course, have gone in. Height, the 8th grader, has made a couple of saves. Bertram trying to start it. Ethan Bowling. Watertown may be wondering, why doesn't Ethan Bowling play football as big as he is?
Right?
I mean, the other football, not this football. But they're better, Ryan Roby with a cross there. Feichner, the goal scorer, sends it wide. Watertown in football moved up down from 11 AAA to 11 AA. They were just really in trouble in 11 AAA with the Sioux Falls schools and the Rapid City schools, but they're in 11 AA in football. 2-1 Pierre. We are in minute 11 with Dave Williams, David Burrow at the PILC Soccer Complex. Glad you're with us. Go Govs Live and the River 92.7 page at the DRG News app and at drgnews.com. Great fun for us to bring you Governor Soccer. Looking forward to seeing the Governor girls a little bit later. Here's Swenson's team at 4-1. But it's a new era beginning. New coaches for both of these teams. Matt DeBoer had so much success. Oh, good one inside there. Bowling was turned a little bit and sent it wide.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit more of the clamp down on defense like we did the first few minutes before Watertown's kind of eased that and, made them play a little differently and took that opportunity and scored. But now the Pierre defense is really kind of clamping down. There are some opportunities here and there, but they really haven't been great ones like when they had that goal.
That was in minute 7. My Feichner, Brewers, and Derry have scored since for the Pierre Governors. In green, Watertown in white. On a bit of a hazy day, and as you've been hearing the wind, but pleasant with the temperature in the low 80s in the capital city. Feichner nearly tripped over the ball, and it came back to Aharts.
And again, moving it to the wing, and boy, he's got a foot on him. He's been booming it past the line.
And Brewers found Peterson. That's usually a good thing, although Watertown's back in position. But Bertram will try again.
Yeah, the defense really bailed out Height there.
Derry sends it just wide. Height diving, thought he'd had to make another stop, but he dove for it. Riley Fisher is into the Watertown lineup, 10 and white. He's another freshman. This is a pretty young team. And Nola Wallenmeyer, a sophomore, comes to the bench. Found Bowling, but it'll go on the foul to Pierre.
Yeah, a little too high, kind of hit him in the shoulder, so had to call the handball on that one. Break for Pierre in their offensive end. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah, dangerous play, they call that sometimes. Jeremy Kennedy. Just a little bit too far ahead on Bertram's heading try. And Pierre just barely kept it from going into touch, but Logan Stimson is there for Watertown.
Yeah, Peterson did a good job keeping it in, but unfortunately where he kept it in, it was all white jerseys around there.
in the 14th minute at the PILC Soccer Complex. Devin Snyder is down the right flank after a good through ball. Tries the cross, but a little too much on it. And that was basically against the wind, too, so we got a lot on that one. New head coaches for Pierre. We have mentioned Miguel Manriquez taking over this boys program and Kira Swenson. More about that later when we have the girls action, of course, for you. Of course, Sidney Zanin had been the only coach that program had ever had and led Pierre to those back-to-back state championships in girls play in 17 and 18. The legendary game in 18, that got deflected across and somehow stayed out. Bertram is open, but can't control it. Fichtner up ahead. Oh, good lead ahead for Hunter Mitchell. Ryan Roby left it for him. Mitchell trying to deke, and Aharts had to punch it out. They'll have a second opportunity, maybe. No, Pierre clears it ahead, but Aharts comes up big again.
Yeah, that was a nice lean to the right and punch that one out so he could still be ready if there was a second shot.
Fichtner's back in there again, and there to find it off the cross is Ryan Roby. His 4th of the year, and we're back even at 2-all.
Yeah, what a setup that was. A nice crossing pass and right place, right time, and there was nothing Aharts could do for that. He could dive, but just out of his reach. So Watertown again taking advantage of an opportunity right there, and that's what they've got to do. As you mentioned, they're out-talented, but you get these opportunities, you take advantage, and you can hang in there.
Well, you got to, especially if you root for the Arrows, you got to really like the way they're playing so far. Can they keep it up for 80 minutes? That is the big question. But they're even right now with Pierre at 2-all. Derry sending a little too far. Brewers trying to outflank Devin Snyder for the ball. And this may be here. Let's settle things down a little bit from Pierre's point of view.
Yeah, and they were trying to bring it back and unfortunately turning it over in Watertown. These are the opportunities they need to take advantage of.
Yeah, Ryan Roby certainly disrupted that, but a good block on his try for a cross. But Logan Stimson controls it again, but no problem here for Aharts.
Yeah, I know they're amped up, they're tied up, but sometimes, like you said, you've got to settle it down, slow the pace, be more deliberate with what your plan is.
Yeah, you talk about pace of the game, especially in basketball, especially in this game. Pierre wants the pace to be free-flowing and not deliberate like Watertown wants it.
Absolutely, and there's a good opportunity there. Bertram, he went down there again, and he had a shot, but not the greatest of angles, so it did go wide.
And the Governors are wondering where the foul was, but none was called, and Nathan Ershman, wearing 5, replaces Bertram. And Spencer Taylor, the senior, is going to come in at the first opportunity. He can't just yet. Pierre 2, Watertown 2, 17th minute at the PILC Soccer Complex, as Watertown has put, not a surprise for them, but maybe a little bit of a surprise for the Governors early on in this match. Mitchell trying to catch up. He did. Aharts had to knock it down again. Big opportunity, a big collision, and Aharts stays down.
Yeah, that's not good. He came out to cut off the angle, and he stopped the shot, but also, took the leg off that shot too.
Well, Carson wants to get up. Very badly wants to get up. The last thing Carson wants to do is leave. He is this team's keeper. They depend on him. Maybe just a little bit, just to kind of shake out the cobwebs. Let's see if they move Peter Tomte in net. They may have to. But while they are reconfiguring things here, why don't we take a break? It is 2-all, and we're nearly 18 minutes into the match here at the PILC Soccer Complex on GoGovs Live and the River 92.7 page of the DRG News app and at drgnews.com.
expect more. You expect more. When you expect more, Dakota Prairie Bank, providing great service right from the start. It's our promise to you that sets us apart. With every handshake and a smile, we go that extra mile. When you expect more, you expect more. When you expect more, Dakota Prairie Bank.
This is Randy Schumacher, owner of Capital City Monuments. When the time comes for you to consider the purchase of a memorial, be it ahead of time for yourself or for a loved one who has passed, I am here to help. I have 27 memorials on display in my office. We can design the memorial together when you visit. My reputation has been built on integrity, trust, and caring service to families. I am located across from Hardware Hank on Main Street. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you and your family at Capital City Monuments.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your...
Peter Tomta has had to come into the net for Pierre, so he's had to change jerseys. He's wearing that fluorescent yellow jersey. And just off to our right, they are looking at Carson Aharts because, Dave, he took a shot in the mouth.
Yeah, it sounds like he got the foot in the mouth and, got a cut in there. And we could see on his gloves that he had some blood there that had come out of his mouth, so they're attending to him to see what they need to do.
They're all right with the Tomta in net, but Aharts is the starter and has been a steady keeper this year and played some last year as a sophomore too, so they would love to see him back, but he, again, just off to our right, is having to be tended to. We're at 2-all as we go into minute 19 here at the PILC Soccer Complex, where the Pierre Governors are finding themselves so far in a little bit of a tussle with a still fairly already desperate Watertown team who has only a draw and no other results in 5 matches, while the Governors are 3-2.
Yeah, this would be a statement game for the Arrows if they were able to pull this off, and I'm sure that's in the back of their minds that they'd love to steal one away here.
Yes, sir. That is Stephen Blanchette wearing 15 in green, the freshman. Off the foul, they'll restart it. Trying to send it ahead for Ryland Dairy, and they'll just be booted back out. And Peter Tomta will take it in and just try to keep the Arrows away. But now they'll get a throw in. Garrett Keever, when he takes his warm-up off, there he does, 33 for Watertown. Jaden Lindner's back in. Devin Flottmeyer is back into the Pierre lineup, 10 in green, as Spencer Taylor will come back to Miguel Manriquez's bench. 20th minute, we're nearly midway through this first half. The PILC Soccer Complex in a 2-all match here in Watertown in boys play. Good block of that cross that was tried by Fisher. And the Governors Governors have found themselves hunkered down in their own end here for the last minute or two.
They have, yeah. Schlickenmeyer did a good job there, just making sure that one didn't get anywhere near the net. Even if he kicked it out, give them a chance to regroup and try to reset. But Watertown's back on the attack again.
With Keever, who just came into the match, but cleared away. But again, here is Watertown being deliberate and doing pretty well, completing passes. They don't want Pierre to do, well, you go back to the opener. Douglas, Rapid City Christian, New Underwood. That was the game where the Governors had it going. That was 10-0. That was one that ended early. That was a game where they had it just flowing the whole way, and they had hoped for that sort of thing today, but so far it's not happening. Watertown's offside.
Yeah, Watertown's been doing a great job of, setting their pace and making the Governors play at that pace. And, it just, that's what they need to do to be successful.
Fisher thought he had a good tackle, but ruled to be just a little bit late. And the Governors will restart. We are just into the second half of the first half. Whoops, that one was a little bit of a knuckleball on Blake Height.
Yeah, Peterson tried to drop that one in just on the left side of the goal there, and I think Height did get his hands on it.
He did, yep. Pierre's going to have their first corner, and they're also, when the opportunity presents itself, got Carson Aharts back in. But the corner will happen first, the first one of the match for either side. And Pierre pretty good at these set pieces. The battle in the box came back to Blanchette near the corner. And Watertown again able to clear it out and relieve the pressure a little bit, and then miskicked by Cordell Schlickenmeyer, and Watertown will have a throw-in in the offensive end as Hunter Mitchell comes back in. Mikkel Brownell, a senior, will come in for the first time, and as you see, Carson Ahart's able to enter the game again. And Peter Thompson with a few minutes in net. Was challenged one time, did all right with it. But Watertown trying to play for the lead here. Brownell just out-muscled for that one. But again, the Governors can't move it ahead. Foley doesn't set any, and Ahart said that's not bad for him to have a little action right after he got back into the match.
Absolutely. Jump right back in, get into it. And, Watertown, they just keep continuing to pressure. They've been more and more dominant here as this half has gone on, controlling the ball.
They've outshot Pierre 10-6 so far in this match. 6 saves and they've all been by Aharts. Tomta didn't have to make a save when he was in there. But we're at 2-2 where it counts most. 24th minute. Good rusher up. It's Cole Peterson, the man with 10 goals. 4 in one match recently against Roosevelt, and upended there, but they say it was fair, and it ends in a goal kick.
Yeah, he was trying to make something happen, kind of stepped on the ball, which threw him a little bit, and then he was, kind of off balance, and that gave the defense the time to smother him.
But a missed kick there by Tommy Foley is going to give Pierre a throw-in the offensive end. It goes to the field behind us, but that's where the girls' JV game is going on. So all of a sudden, what's this other soccer ball doing on the field? Caden Thompson. But well handled there by Blake Height.
Yeah, that was a smart move because he had a Governor kind of closing in on him and didn't want to give up anything easy.
Hey, he's shown himself pretty well so far, I think, even though he's been scored on twice.
He has. In those 2 goals, those were situations he couldn't do a thing.
Young man, and I mean young, an 8th grader, having to be a starting keeper. Two all, Dave Williams, David Burrell, Caleb Brozig with production. We're awfully glad to have you with us, and we hope you're enjoying the action on the River 92.7 page at the DRG News app and at drgnews.com and at GoGovs Live. And that is offside.
Yeah, great idea, just you can't get that far ahead of everybody else. Ryland Derry, he found his lane, and he found a good spot to be, but, yeah, everybody else was behind him.
Ryland Roby just off to our right. Thought he was going to be back in, but not just yet. But his team will restart from their own end. Little clear away is called on the foul. And Watertown again with a free kick in a pretty good position. Sent in front. Aharts is right there to stop Mitchell's header. And then Mitchell took the worst of it, and that was the best save of the match so far.
Yeah, he looked like he ran into a brick wall on that save. Aharts was not letting the ball go by and not letting the arrow go by either.
Whoa! Now, people say, oh, they don't collide in soccer. You've just seen proof otherwise.
Absolutely. And Mitchell got up. He had to shake it off. You saw that, but boy, yeah, Aharts really stood tall, and he had to make that great save because that was just a great pass towards the net.
11 shots so far for Watertown. They still outshot Pierre 11 now to 6. And the Governors, even though the match is even, I got to say, Dave, still a little bit on their heels.
They are. Watertown is really slowly but surely took over, has been more dominant. They've probably got a lot more shots than the Governors were thinking they were going to, probably for the whole game. But they've been on the attack and not letting up.
Fichtner and Roby are their scorers. Fichtner in the 7th, Roby in the 15th. Browers in the 8th, Derry in the 9th for Pierre in between those, and it's 2-all. And if the Governors thought this was going to be a free ride today, it's not happening that way so far. Caden Morris had it taken away. Excellently played by Fichtner, who wants a second, but the Governors are back. And they'll have to defend hard again. Whoops. Missed in a little bit of a collision. They tried for the cross, but didn't quite work out, and it ends in a Pierre goal kick. Here comes Ethan Bowling back in for Watertown. And Devin Snyder will come off. We're now in minute 29 of 80 at the PILC Soccer Complex. Girls action for you a little bit later. Watertown again playing very patient soccer today. The lead for Lindner. Good sliding play by the Governors to take it out. Is that a throw-in or a corner? It was close to the corner, but I believe it's a throw-in.
Yeah, it should be a throw-in. Yep. I think he got it out just before the flag. And Aharts is doing a good job clearing it out to the midline with his kicks, but unfortunately his teammates aren't getting there to get the ball. It's going right to the arrows, and they're turning it right back upfield.
Ryan Roby trying to start something here. Too far for Kiever, but a lot of these 50-50 balls, again, are going Watertown's way. This one will go Pierre's way, however, with a throw-in.
They definitely needed that so they can kind of regroup, take a breath, and see if they can turn it upfield and put some pressure on Height in goal.
But the pressure, what pressure they've had, Height's been fine, but Carson Aharts has made a difference so far in this match. It could be 4-2 Watertown right now, honestly.
Oh, easily. He's made some great saves thus far.
Thompson. Derry, well done by Brownell, but well done again by Derry to take it away from him. And look out, here comes Peterson, but back there quickly is Bowling. And Peterson's had 1 or 2 good rushes so far, that's all.
And that looked like that was going to be a great one, but Bowling in that last second came in and knocked that one away. Otherwise, we might have a 3-2 lead for the Governors right now.
30 minutes have now been played. And in the first half hour, there's a push.
Yeah.
Nathan Ershman.
Get out of here.
Yeah. But to say, he's not going to get away with that one, I don't think. Everybody around here saw it, and he was right in front of a linesman.
Exactly. Not the best place to choose to do that. Not to get away with it, anyway.
So Watertown can again try to control things. Mitchell kept it away from Ershman. Lindner, but taken away right there by the senior, Jeremy Kuniga. Hunter Mitchell. Marked by Caden Thompson. But Thompson knocked it out, and for the first time, a corner for Watertown. So what can Ryan Roby do here? In swing or out swing? And a little bit of an in swing, but nobody able to get a good foot on it.
Yeah, the Governor defenders were right there ready to get that one cleared out, and they did.
Telegraphed a little bit, but still well done by Pierre at the back. The Governors try to work their way ahead in a 2-all match. Over a half-hour played. Still a lot of soccer left here today. And Watertown, to be honest, they've been the better team so far.
They really have. They've just, it took them a little bit to get going, but once they clicked, they got that first goal off a really good opportunity, the first one they really had, and they've been dominant since.
The call for offside here. Roby evened it back up in the 15th minute. It's been 2-2 since that point. We're now in the 33rd minute. Derry. Bothered by Foley well. Once Ershman, but he's offside.
Trying to plead his case, and yeah, it was close. It was. But he lost that battle.
Yep. Trying to find Mitchell ahead, but not quite. No problem there for Carson Aharts, who had to leave the game for a little bit a little bit earlier. He unfortunately took a boot in the mouth and had a cut repaired, but he's back in there now.
Yeah, it's good to see him be able to come back in and right off the bat he was tested and he's stood tall since he's been back in again.
Made a fabulous save on a Hunter Mitchell header try that kept the game even. That would have been a handball but they say play on, and I think that's the right call there with Watertown controlling, because that was an obvious handball by Peterson. Mitchell just left it too long for Brownell, and now some substitutions can come in. They've been waiting a little bit. Logan Stimson for Watertown. Landon Bertram for Pierre back into the match.
And I think the difference for Watertown, when we first got going, they were trying to really push it up the middle and kind of clog up the middle. Now they're being smart, using the wings, kind of spreading the ball out where there's room, and that's made the difference for them, I think.
Well, and they have seen certainly how Pierre plays, that they have seen already this season the Governors turn a lot of really bad passes into easy goals, and Watertown's just not letting that happen so far today.
Yeah, they've really, done a great job. Early on, they were turning it over quite a bit, but they've really done fantastic at making sure those passes are crisp and getting where they want to. I mean, you're going to have the occasional whoops that didn't work, but overall they've done a great job.
Minute 35. Pierre Indian Learning Center Soccer Complex. Girls action later. These are Watertown and Pierre's boys 2-all. Jackson Fitchner scored first in the 7th minute. Casey Browers equalized it for the Governors in the 8th. Ryland Derry for Pierre in minute 9, but then Ryan Roby with his 4th of the season in the 15th minute. And the 10-goal man, Cole Peterson, has not connected yet and really only had one decent chance. Loose in the box, but Ryland Derry's there to take it for Pierre. But nobody home to help him.
And that's where the win comes in handy for Watertown. That kept that one in.
Sure did. Peterson with control for a moment and then off of him. And Mitchell back the other way. Looks for Lindner and he'll catch up. Good run here by Fichtner, but then the turf monster got him. But it went off a Pierre defender, so Watertown will have their second corner, or excuse me, that's their third corner. But short, after the first one didn't quite work, but this one doesn't either, as Stephen Blanchette takes it away for Pierre. 36 minutes have been played, in minute 37 now. Pierre looking for the big break. They had a couple earlier, but fairly smothering midfield play here by Watertown has held the Governors for a lot of rushes, including for that guy that they really want to get going, Cole Peterson, but that one's too far.
Yeah, you really have to give it up for the midfield and defensive play so far of the Arrows. They have just not given a lot of room to run.
And they know, as we've been saying, Dave, they know that's their opportunity to stay in this match.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, Dustin Hirsch is just going to be really, really happy with this team and how they're playing. No, not that Pierre is among the elite boys teams in the state, but they're not bad at 3-2. Kiever. But Carnegie is able to take it away. But again, an ambitious lead pass doesn't work out for the Governors.
Yeah, you can see the difference in the Arrows. They're a little, you can tell they're hungry. They want to get that first win and get those points under their belt, and then they can feel a bit better about themselves. I mean, they've been playing well today. Doesn't look like a team that has not won a game yet.
Only a draw in 5 matches so far. Good opportunity, and Ahart's deflected it. Or would it go wide? He did not deflect.
Yeah, I think it just missed his outreached hands. But, yeah, he has been busy back there, and he's really been doing great. I mean, both goalies have been up to the task. The 2 goals they've let in, those were the type of goals that, they were – you couldn't do anything. No. You could try your hardest, but you weren't going to stop them.
Well, Ahart's has had to make 7 saves. Now, just a couple for height, but he's been in some tight spots a couple of times, but it's still Watertown with a shot advantage, 2-1 in fact, 12-6 over Pierre. That was shot number 12 just a moment ago for the Arrows. Looking for Mitchell, but Schlickenmayer saves the moment for Pierre. We're down to the last 90 seconds of the first half here at the PILC Soccer Complex.
A little bit of a shove there by the Governors gives the ball right back to Watertown.
Yes, and in not a bad position. Connor Schlatt, S-C-H-L-A-H-T. Feichner, who scored, upended, but they say play on.
Yeah, he was looking for a little something there, but it didn't get the call.
Yep, got the ball first, I think. But Lindner takes a feed that was intended for Bertram. Schlickenmeyer is able to stop that and then got pushed over by Feichner for his trouble. We are in the last 35 seconds of this first half. And someone, good advice from the Watertown bench, saying nothing easy here. They know how Pierre likes to get out and go. But they won't have anything easy, it doesn't appear here, as Watertown has Connor Schlacht able to play it back to the keeper height. Got to be careful with that one, but he's fine. He's down to the last 9 seconds we are in the half. And we're going to have a 2-2 draw at the half between Watertown and Pierre right now, as Watertown, even after 40 minutes and doing exactly what they came here to do so far.
Yeah, and I think probably a surprise to the Pierre Governors. You're coming up against this team that has won. Closest they've got was the draw. You think, it shouldn't be too bad. Well, Watertown came in with other plans, so this second half, I think we're going to have to see, Pierre regroup, come out and try to do more of what they like to do and just push that pace. But we'll see if they'll be able to do that against the Arrows.
We'll go over some numbers when we come back. We are at the half at the PILC Soccer Complex in boys action, and the Pierre Governors are in a skirmish so far, even with a pretty game Watertown Arrows team. We're 2-all at the half. And this is Pierre Governors Soccer and Go Govs Live on the River 92.7 page at the DRG News app and at drgnews.com.
When Americans needed a car that worked harder than a car, we built them a truck. And they used our trucks to build interstates and industries and communities, livelihoods and neighborhoods. Americans needed vehicles worthy of who they are and what they can do. So, we built them a truck.
Everyone says they want to change the world. But not everyone will. We are not everyone.
Project.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
It's tough to buy a vehicle nowadays, isn't it? They're so hard to find.
Watertown Arrows in boys soccer at the PILC Soccer Complex. We are halfway through 40 minutes of 80, 2-all here and Watertown with Big Daddy Dave Williams, David Burrell. It was Jackson Feichtner scoring in the 7th minute to put Watertown into what many considered a shock lead. But it was Casey Browers coming back for Pierre in minute 8. It was 1-all. Ryland Derry in the 9th, 2-1. But Ryan Roby tied it back up for Watertown in minute 15, 2-all. Caleb Brozig handling the production today. Dave, I'm impressed with what Watertown is doing. They have the shot advantage, and they've really, for the most part, and again, it's not with big long passes, but controlling the ball and keeping away from the Governor's dangerous guys so far.
Yeah, that has been the difference. It took them a little bit to get into it, but they finally realized we can't run and gun. And they slowed it down. They spread it out because at first, like we said, they were trying to push it right up the middle. And, sometimes it works. Today it wasn't. They started to move it around, made the most of those opportunities a lot more than I'm sure a lot of people were expecting. I mean, they've had a ton of shots, and they've just had a really good couple of opportunities to put them a couple in the net. And I think that's where the Pierre defense really needs to kind of clamp down the second half. They gave up a lot of opportunities, and I know Aharts has been playing well. He's made some great saves. but you got to give the poor guy a break, too.
Yeah. Yeah. There are times when they have, but there are times when he's been left alone back there. In fact, by our count, Watertown with 12 shots in the first half, Pierre with 6. Ahart's, he's been the difference, and he had to sit out for a little while after he got a boot in the mouth and a cut, but came back. He's made 7 saves, 2 saves for Blake Height of Watertown, 3 corner kicks for Watertown, 1 for Pierre, offside 3 times by Watertown and 2 by Pierre, and we'll have girls action coming up for you a little bit later on. But 40 more interesting minutes of soccer here. Pierre, again, wanted to come back from what was a rough day in Aberdeen on Saturday against Aberdeen Central. Got another tough one. In fact, both teams do at Mitchell coming up on Thursday. But this was not in Miguel Manriquez's plan, I don't think, for the first 40 minutes.
No, I think they were expecting a little more wide open, running gun type of thing. Because you've got 2 different types of teams. You've got a team that really likes to push it and go, where Watertown wants to go slow. And they've been the ones to be able to do it. I mean, there have been a few breakouts that we've seen. Height has been up to the task on a couple of really good opportunities. Both goalies really have been the difference in this game on both sides.
Tortoise in the hair, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's tortoise 2, hair 2.
It is.
Right. Watertown 2, Pierre 2 is what it is. It's going to be an interesting second half, and we hope you'll come back with us for it. 2-2, Pierre and Watertown boys soccer here at the PILC Soccer Complex. The second half is coming up on GoGovs Live and the River 92.7 page at the DRG News app and at drgnews.com.
For a winner, we will never buy a 2020-21 vehicle and then turn around and ask you, our valued customers, to pay more than what the vehicle cost brand new. Those other guys, they don't do that. Research your options, get a Carfax, and remember, we sell new vehicles way below MSRP because that's just the way we do business. Harry K. Ford a winner. Family, friends, and Fords.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
The Golden Buffalo Casino at Lower Brule is proud of our area youth for their competitive spirit and participation in the various high school activities. It takes dedication and commitment to be the best you can be. It's all about sportsmanship and not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game. The Golden Buffalo Casino is your winning destination for great food and more ways to win more often. Our youth, our future. We at the Golden Buffalo Casino say thanks for all you do.
Join the team and take on your legacy. Since 1862, the South Dakota Army National Guard has been ready to defend our freedom and our way of life. When our nation calls, we are there to help our friends, neighbors, and communities in the event of forest fires, floods, tornadoes, and severe winter storms right here in South Dakota. Now we want you to write the next chapter in our rich history of the South Dakota Army National Guard. Visit their Facebook and Instagram pages or nationalguard.com/SD.
The Pierre Fire Department has a strong and proud history of volunteering for our community since 1881. We have some great men and women who are serving our community, and we are always looking for more quality volunteers. No experience is necessary, as we provide training locally. If you are looking for the next adventure and an opportunity to serve your community, volunteer today. It's as easy as calling 605-773-7401 to get started.
The second half of the PILC Soccer Complex, 40 minutes down and 40 minutes to go. Can the Pierre Governors get it going how they won in this second half, or will the Watertown Arrows just keep trying to play this game and where they want it? It's just the quicksand they've had it in a lot of this first half. With Big Daddy Dave Williams, David Pearl, very glad to have you with us. Pierre and Green now attacks from right to left, but basically against this wind in the second half. We'll identify players as best we can as they have the ball to reset things for you. That's Ryland Derry, 9 in green for Pierre. But it's Watertown, and Mitchell and Feichtner have really done a lot in the midfield today, and Feichtner has scored. Aharts is able to handle this one with no problem. Carson Aharts in goal for Pierre.
Yeah, Roby tried to get a shot off there, but kind of got a little bit of a foot on it, so that helped out Aharts. Not that it was a screamer in there or anything.
Ryan Roby is 4 in white. He has scored in this match, along with 13. Jackson Feichtner for the Watertown Arrows. 6 in green. Peter Tomtu, who had to see a little time in goal in the first half when Carson Aharts took a cleat in the mouth, which wasn't very pleasant. They had to get a cut closed up and was out for a little bit. Logan Stimson, 14 in white. He wants to find Nola Wallenmeyer, 17, but Devin Flottmeyer, wearing 10 for Pierre, catches up to it first.
So it'll be interesting here in the second half, see if the wind plays a factor. Really didn't in the first half.
You can hear it. And again, it's all out in the open here, so it's kind of tough to keep us from having you hear it. But we're doing our best. At least we think we're doing our best. It's past.
Doing our darndest.
And yes, we are. It's past Landon Bertram, 19 in white. Watertown, white and purple. Plays it back to the 8th grade keeper, Blake Height. Couple of first half saves, but has looked steady.
And Watertown really here in the second half has come out playing just like they were in the first half, controlling the ball, being deliberate with it, and so far they've been able to control the ball and keep it away from the Govs.
Well, the plan of Dustin Hertz and his staff has really been followed to a T by this Watertown team so far. A lot of soccer left. Feichtner. Lindner on a right flank run. But able to handle it is Flottmeyer, and sent up ahead for Casey Browers, who has scored in this match. Help ahead of him for Ryland Derry. Can Peterson catch up? Yes, he can. Not a lot on it and just wide.
And that's what the Govs need to see more of. That was a great play, pushing it forward, finding those lanes, and getting an opportunity. And as we've seen, they can score quick. So it just takes 1 or 2 of those, and they jump ahead real quick.
Ryland Derry called for that foul. Not the easiest run for Peterson. That's why he couldn't get a whole lot on the shot.
Yeah, he had a defender right there on him, so he had to make a quick decision, and just a little bit wide on that one.
But you saw there what Pierre wants to have happen a lot more in this second half. Girls action later for you. The Pierre teams head to Mitchell on Thursday. That's their next action, and we'll be back here next week. Thursday of next week, the next games after that, the 9th of September, the Harrisburg Tigers will be here.
I'll start putting in our weather orders tomorrow.
That's right.
For good weather.
Yeah. Well, we have it today, certainly.
We do.
Lindner. Can Roby catch it? He does. Good cross. Now another opportunity. There was Mitchell. Ahart's able to at least get it out of there, and it's no worse than a throw-in, but Watertown has pressure again.
Yeah, Roby did a great job centering that one into the box and giving his team an opportunity, and Ahart's again had to make a save, and the Arrows, they're making their own opportunities and doing a great job.
8th save for Aharts, who had a little trouble with that cross, but he's able to handle it. But that, as we say, save number 8 for Carson Aharts. And you know, last year, there was a difference in a couple of games, too, with good play. And honestly, this could be 5-2, maybe, for Watertown if it's not for Carson's play so far today. There's Cole Peterson, 11. His next goal would match his number. He has 10. Brower's trying to battle for it. And now Flottmeyer controls for Pierre. This is Cordell Schlickenmeyer.
And you can see the Governors trying to push and to move it and, you know, do what they want to do. But the Arrows at midfield, they have just clamped down.
They are clogging it up. That one was deflected off of Figner trying for his second. Ahart's able to handle it, though. But make it shot number 14 for Watertown and the 9th save by Aharts in a 2-all match.
And he's just like, I'm getting it out of here.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Peterson's on the loose now, but couldn't get a shot away. All well defended as Logan Stimson stayed right with him.
He came sneaking in behind and stole that one away before Peterson could do anything with it.
Nice play. Looking for Brewers, but instead Schlacht handles it and back to Heights. And a little bit of an opportunity maybe down the right flank for Wallenmeyer. Good deke to find Roby, but nice slide on the tackle there by Cordell Schlickenmeyer.
Yeah, the Governors, they've been playing a little bit better on defense, but they're still giving those opportunities. So they just need to play a little tighter and clamp down a bit more.
Lindner. Now there is Wallenmeyer. But that cross, good idea, but not quite the best angle, and Aharts just snapped it up smartly. Peterson trying to make something happen on his own, but they know about him. They've got 2 guys on him as much as they possibly can. And then sent too far ahead.
Yeah, you could see him. He was itching to just break away, but when you've got 2 guys defending you, and then, you know, they'll throw that third one in there too, and they've gotten him well covered throughout the game so far.
Minute 48. A 2-all draw to this point. Feichner and Roby, the scorers for Watertown. Casey Brewers and Ryland Derry for Pierre. Lindner, good through ball for Roby. Nice cross, except there is Jeremy Kaniga in front. Well done there with a header. Stimson, who made the good defensive play on Peterson a moment ago. Bolding. Nice touch once Mitchell, but can't get a shot away.
And the Governors did a better job there on defense, but then get to midfield, turn it around, and right back in come the Arrows. So they've got to get that stop and then push it upfield.
A little bit of a forearm there leads to a foul and a pure free kick right on the center stripe, and a crowd around Derry. Whether it's Derry or whether it's Peterson, I mean, Watertown knows these are the guys that'll help make it happen up front for Pierre, and they're marking them tight.
Yeah, they're making it tough for those 2, and a little break there for the Governors as they'll get a free kick.
Peterson's around it. Looks like Cole's going to be the one to take it. And why not? But a little high.
Caught the jet stream there.
Yeah. We're in the 50th minute with Big Daddy Dave Williams, David Burrell. The PILC Soccer Complex is where we are on GoGovsLive.com and the River 92.7 page of the DRG News app and at DRGnews.com. Look out here for Hunter Mitchell. He has put Watertown back in the lead.
And he had a teammate to his right if he needed to make that pass, but he did what he needed to do, got around the defender, a great shot there. And the Arrows, again, sneaking ahead, and they've been able to do that all game long.
First of the year for Mitchell in the 50th minute. And the Watertown Arrows, who have only trailed for about 6 minutes today, have come back in front 3-2. Their shot advantage over Pierre is now 15-7.
And that may be Mitchell's first of the year, but it's probably the biggest of the year right now if they can hang on.
You bet. And he struck it confidently.
He sure did.
Too far for Lindner. This is Devin Flottmeyer for Pierre, playing it for Cordell Schlickenmeyer, the junior. Now A. Hartz will start it as Roby will look at him a little bit, but they want to bring it upfield. They find themselves down. Still a little less than a half hour to go, but this isn't a comfortable position at all for the Pierre Governors. But for Watertown, look, we've talked about it so much, but playing loosely, the situation they're in, they know not many expected them, and they've had the rough start, but boy, they're just playing very disciplined soccer so far today. The Pierre goals, remember, came a minute apart in the 8th and 9th minute. But outside of those two, for the most part, it has been Watertown in control.
Yeah, Watertown has done a great job of shutting down the lanes that the Governors are looking for, and those are the type of goals they want to score. And it hasn't been there for them because Watertown's defense has been phenomenal.
And just really doing well, clogging things up midfield. Browers wanted to find Peterson, but Tommy Foldy stopped that for Watertown. And once Mitchell, who just put the visitors in front a moment ago. Good little one-on-one here. Play on, they say. Here comes Peterson trying for a head of speed, but again, they're right on him. And Pierre's caught for the foul.
Yeah, a little too aggressive there by Derry, trying to make his move, and turns it over to Watertown.
Derry, not Peterson. Hartz just trying to make sure to keep it away from, that's Mitchell down there again.
Making that smart play.
Watertown with the lead. They try to get it to Peterson, but Hunter Schlacht is back there. Lob it. Flottmeyer trying to play it out over Schlickenmeyer, and Schlickenmeyer does. But the Arrows again control until it's knocked down there by Kaniga. Look, Peterson's up ahead. The through ball's for him. Derry sent it. He's onside. He just wants control, but height is there to stop him.
And that's the type of play they've been wanting to have happen. It's only really the second one they've had here in the second half like that. And again, Peterson they're right there with him. He took the best shot he could.
Only the third save for Blake Height, but boy, he was very, very, very steady on it. Going against one of the best goal scorers in South Dakota in Cole Peterson. Some substitutions will be made. Elias Gilk comes into the Governor lineup. The junior wearing 7 in green. Devin Snyder and Riley Fisher are both back in for Watertown. And Devin Flottmeyer, who's had to work pretty hard on that Governor defense, will take a little bit of a rest.
A good chance to give him a breather and let him rest up a bit to come back out.
Watertown 3, Pierre 2. From the thought of most observers, a shock scoreline, but Watertown, as we've said, has earned this lead. Minute 54 here at the Pierre Indian Learning Center Soccer Complex. Both balls come near us. Our buddies over on the right had no damage. I hope. I don't think so.
I think they're good.
Good. Schlott finds Fichtner, who has scored today, but Ryland Derry is right there to take it down. Fichtner's going to stay with him, and in fact, good defense there too by Jackson Fichtner. It's going to lead to a throw-in for Watertown.
Yeah, they're really, just like you said, they're clogging it up, putting bodies everywhere, and making it tough on the Governors to move the ball.
Schlickenmeyer trying to stop it, but Roby with a quick restart. And the Governors having to be in a pretty defensive posture here. Down a goal. They want to be in control of things, but they're not at the moment.
Yeah, this half has been tilted towards the Arrows from the kickoff.
And Mitchell put the visitors back in front in minute 50. 19 is Noah Wallenmeyer, sophomore. They're going with a lot of underclassmen, not a whole lot of seniors on this Watertown team. Mitchell is one, the goal scorer a moment ago. Lindner, whose name we've called a lot. Garrett Kiever is a senior. Mikkel Brownell, who played a little earlier, is a senior. Spencer Taylor's back into the Pierre lineup, 22 in green. And here is Garrett Kiever back in for Watertown, too.
And you wonder, too, and with the start that they've gotten off to, being as young as they are, maybe it's, taking them a little time to learn each other, get, used to each other and play together. And if they can keep playing like this, then things are going to go really well the rest of the season.
Let's be honest. You play JV soccer, that's one thing, but varsity's a little different. Good chance there is knocked down by A. Hearts.
Yeah, a whole different animal when you make that move up to varsity.
But shot number 16 for Watertown, and trying for a 17th. We'll give Fisher a shot there, but A-Hearts had no problem stopping it. So it's 17-8, the shots for Watertown, and Fisher intercepts it nearly again, although Browers is there, but into touch in front of us. And Caleb Brozick makes a nice play. Well done. Assuring a quick restart. Attaboy. Foley. Or Kieber it is, bothered over there by Nathan Ershman. Play in this end for a good while, about the last 3 or 4 minutes. It's mostly been at the end to our right with Watertown holding on. A lot of soccer left, but they're up 3-2. Now A-Hearts will be able to take it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shell shock, it looks like, out there. They're trying and trying, but they're not getting anywhere. That, the Arrows are just swarming them. 2 people on the ball and just taking it away, breaking up passes. It's, and that's what they need to do.
Mikkel Brownell is back in for Watertown. For the Governors, junior Devin Flottmeyer, the rest not long. He's right back out there, and they know they need him. But they want the ball. Pierre does in this end, too, where it hasn't been very much in the last few minutes. 58th minute. Still a lot of soccer left, a little over 22 minutes to play. So nothing's decided here. Peterson had one good chance about 5 or 6 minutes ago, but that's really only the really only good opportunity that the Governors have had in this second half.
And that's really where Watertown could use another goal to give that insurance, because Pierre can score so quick. Just that one goal lead, you can't let up because they're so fast.
Well, Derry and Peterson both. Derry's such a versatile player, but it's going to be either Derry or Peterson to strike it for this team. And that will lead to a Pierre goal kick, as Watertown knew they didn't have the angle and just, again, slowed things down. Let some little more time eat off the clock, which probably can't move fast enough for them now, or maybe they don't care. I mean, the way they're playing, they've got to be enjoying this so far.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, they've been playing loose. They've been, working well together, and those big booming kicks that A-Hearts can do, they're good if you can control them, and Watertown's just been doing a good job of getting in the way of that.
Here comes Ryan Roby back in for Watertown. Stephen Blanchette back in for Pierre. He'll replace Caden Morris. Nola Wallenmeyer is out of the Watertown lineup. A throw in again in the offensive end for Watertown. Pierre knows it'll only takes one to equalize it, but it's a matter of gaining the opportunity, which has been a lot easier to talk about than to do for this team today. Minute 60, so still a little over 20 minutes remaining. With Big Daddy Dave Williams, David Burrell, the PILC Soccer Complex. We'll have girls action for you a little bit later on, after we all get turned around.
Yes.
Boys play on one field, girls play on the other. That's how it works. The girls' JV going on the other field right now. So after the foul, here's the sort of opportunity Pierre needs with a free kick. But too far and no problem for height. Fisher. Good ball up ahead. If nothing else, to eat some more time. They'd love it if Garrett Keeper can catch up. He didn't. But again, the Governors are pinned back deep in their own third. Blanchette wants to find Peterson. He's onside if he can catch up, but he won't. Once again, Blake Height. Playing older than an 8th grader, isn't he?
He sure is. You would not have any idea unless you were looking at the program that he's an 8th grader. He has played great today.
You do look at him and you can tell he's not old enough to shave, but he can play goal, man.
He sure can. And for the Governors, I mean, as much time as there is left, you know they've got to just be, wanting to get that goal. And if they can do it, I think you're going to see a little different look from them. They're going to feel that weight because they've tied it up and now they've got a better chance.
But Watertown, once again, smothers them in the midfield. Keever for Mitchell. This is Riley Fisher. Ooh, and back just in the nick of time for Pierre is Jeremy Carnegie.
Yeah, great job there, sneaking in, knocking it away, because otherwise it was just one-on-one with the goalie, and, Ahars can only cover so much goal.
He has done it for the most part today. He's had to make 9 saves. Now the junior Caden Thompson. Can he come in? Yes, he can, and he will. For Spencer Taylor. Feichtner, Roby, Mitchell in the 50th put Watertown back in front. Browers and Derry a minute apart early on in the 8th and 9th minutes for Pierre. That's all the Governors have had today, and Watertown with, to what most is a surprising 3-2 lead. Derry outbattled there by Fisher, but Derry tries to regain it, and then Casey Browers gives his teammates some help, but it ends up with Mikkel Brownell. Feichtner a little tied up, but good job to stay right with it. But here come the Governors. Derry wants Peterson, but he's offside. Not by much, but I think it was by an arm length.
It was pretty close.
Minute 63. A little more than 17 minutes that Watertown wants to hang on. They're up 3-2 here in Pierre. Looking for their first win. They're 0-4-1, Pierre 3-2. We'll have girls action for you later at GoGovs Live and on the River 92.7 page at the DRG News app and at drgnews.com. GoGovs Live is where you find everything Pierre Governors, and on River 92.7 as well. Friday night, Governor football in Pierre. The home opener is at Phil Troutner Stadium, Hollister Field. 6:30 on Friday night. Governors and the Mitchell Colonels. Brian Oakland will have that one. The last time the Colonels were here, Dave, was one of the most thrilling comebacks I've ever seen in the quarterfinal of the playoffs. A year ago, Pierre rallied to win and keep that hope of a fourth straight 11AA title alive, which they won a couple of weeks later.
Just takes that one game to spark a run.
Yep. And after that, it was so amazing what happened. And everybody around the team, and Steve Steele, the Governor head coach, said it later. He said, nah, come on, guys. No problem, everyone. He had to say it to Brian Mosher, the AD, and everybody. Don't worry, guys. We got this. We're going to avenge these losses to Yankton and Brookings. And that's what they did in the semifinals, and then just routed a really good Brookings team at the Dome. Good ball ahead, and Aharts is able to just barely stop Hunter Mitchell. That was a wonderful through ball by Bowling, and Mitchell just about had a second.
Unbelievable. Yeah, Aharts had to get a hand on it and then turn around and grab it before one of the arrows jumped on it and put it in the goal.
That was Mitchell again, who scored in the 50th minute to put Watertown in front. 18-8, the shots in favor of Watertown. Aharts now with save number 10. And we'd be talking a lot differently. I'll say it again. We'd be talking a lot differently about this game right now if it wasn't for Carson Aharts.
Absolutely. He has been stellar there between the pipes and keeping this one tied up keeping it tied up at 2 for the longest time. And Arrows, they've been putting the pressure on him, no doubt.
Ryland Derry in the 66th minute, keeping it away for the moment until Watertown cleared it, but not all the way out. Caden Morris can't start anything. Watertown back in their own end for the first time in a long time, but they bring it out to midfield. But well done there by Bowling, or by Brownell it is, to slow things down a little bit, but Pierre can control again. Still time for the Governors, but trying to avoid a second straight loss. A Watertown team that, again, we'll say, has earned this lead through the first hour of this match.
I think the one thing that's hurt the Governors, especially this half, is they're trying to find that perfect pass, and they're hanging on to the ball too long because they're getting, just as soon as they finally find who they want, they're getting swarmed and the ball's knocked away. So they got to be a little quicker, a little more decisive with the ball.
And, the strategy to try to get it to Cole Peterson's a really good one. I mean, after all, he's already scored 10, and he's so fast, and they're coming close on some of these. Offside on the one a few moments ago.
Right.
But again, you've got guys who are staying with him. And it's got to be some frustration for the Governors. That one just out of Peterson's reach. Mitchell. Wants Fisher, and here he comes. Oh, that offside flag went up rather late.
It took him a little bit. He definitely was, but yeah, the judge had to kind of catch up with him and say, hey, yeah, he was offside. But yeah, he thought he had a clear path to the goal, but not this time.
I don't know. I guess he had to think about it. I don't know why he waited until he controlled the ball to bring up the flag, but anyway, he did. Flotmeyer. Pierre down a goal. Wanting to find Derry.
A little too quick on that one. I think if he took a few more steps, let Derry get a bit more open, he would have had a better path to him.
But a break there for Pierre with a Watertown foul, but then the free kick has a little too much on it. '69th minute at the Pierre Indian Learning Center Soccer Complex. Watertown trying to pull off the surprise at Pierre. They're up 3-2. Logan Stimson back in for Michael Brownell for Watertown. Watertown has the goal advantage. They have the shot advantage. Aharts, the Pierre keeper, has kept the green team in it, frankly, but it's Watertown still with the advantage.
that slow, steady play as Watertown continues, and that's why we're at this juncture, 3-2. They're in the lead.
But Pierre in the last few minutes now has had it in the attacking third more.
Starting to turn that pressure on, which they need to do. They're running out of time.
They've got to feel, look, one of these has got to work. That's the attitude they have to have. Peterson, who just has not been able to take many touches today. A little bit of a spin around, but they were going to catch Cole with a jersey tug first, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and as much as you want to get it to him, I know he's the playmaker, he's the goal scorer, but with them double and triple teaming him, somebody else has got to step up and try to get that equalizer.
Maybe Derry. Brower's trying to handle it. Maybe it's him, but not now as it's up ahead to Riley Fisher. Tomte can't reach it, and then he has to bring down Mitchell. Are they letting that go? They did.
They did,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bowl first, I guess. Perfectly timed, and that was not, despite the protestations of Riley Fisher.
And
who just got a card.
We did. First one of the match.
Now he has to come out. That's the rule. When you get a yellow card, you have to leave the match until there's the opportunity for you to be substituted for again. So Fisher with a yellow in the 71st minute for Watertown, who leads 3-2. Mitchell's goal in the 50th is the difference. Look out, here comes Peterson, but there he is, Blake Height.
Brave to come out that far out, but he cut that angle off and made him take a bad shot.
For his 5th save, just the 9th shot for Pierre in this match. Peterson's had at least 3 of them, including that great chance there. They'll try to do something here with a Brewers throw-in. Tomte, no problem there for Height. To the end of the 71st minute, 9 minutes to play at the PILC Soccer Complex. Watertown, that scoreline may be surprising a lot of people, but the Arrows have played well. They lead Pierre 3-2 with now a little less than 9 minutes to play as it's moved ahead by Feitzner, and Mitchell wants that one back. He sent it wide.
He had A-Hearts on his heels. He had the whole goal right there, and he tried to go far side, and there was still some room, but his angle was just off enough.
The 19th Watertown shot does not work. Ryland Derry with some speed, trying to even it up, and he does. Derry's second in minute 72, and it's 3-all. It only takes one.
It does, and that's the type of play they've been looking for. They've been pushing for all this second half, and all of a sudden, here we are, knotted up again.
So a brace for Ryland Derry. He'll get a little bit of a rest. I wouldn't imagine too terribly long. Landon Bertram will come in for him. But the Governors have it back even. Derry just getting a little bit of a water break. He wanted to go right back in, but they said, no, come here and rest for just a little bit. It won't be long before he's back in there.
Oh, no. Take your drink, get ready, and we're going to try this again.
Feitzner, Roby, Mitchell. They're the goal scorers for Watertown. Brewers with 1, Derry with a brace for Pierre. Trying to stave off the upset bid of Watertown here at the PILC Soccer Complex. That through ball not quite working.
And you can see with that goal, just like I was thinking, the Governors, they've got a little bit more energy, a little more pep in the step now that they know that they could pull this one off.
But that one deflected by the Govs leads to the 5th Watertown corner, but he Hartz handles it confidently. Long distribution. Blanchette covered well, still trying to move ahead. This is Landon Bertram. Once Brewers, who's already scored today. Flotmeyer having to deal with Fisher. And knocked down by Fisher. And in pretty good spot. Free kick coming for Pierre.
Yeah, that's a great spot. A good opportunity here for the Govs. So there's so many things you could do. You just get it towards the goal, and you never know what's going to happen.
74th minute. Again, remember in regular season there's no overtime, so if they're even after 80 minutes, it's a draw. Peterson will take it. Nicely done. Fisher is right there. Maybe more than reflexes than anything else, but they're trying to do anything they can to block it because they know Peterson can, I don't know if he can bend it like Beckham, but he can bend it pretty well. Great. He'll hear me say that and give me a hard time, too. All right,
Not many people can do that.
Well, that's true. All right, Cole, you can bend it like Beckham. I take it all back. And indeed, as we expect, Ryland Dairy, when the next opportunity arises, will come back into the Pierre lineup. Brewers breaks that opportunity up and then regains it. Just pushing it ahead. Morris, but Connor Schlacht moved it nicely away from him. Ryan Roby. Jackson Feichner, a goal scorer today for Watertown. Well done by the Arrows, and they, even if it ends up in a draw, I think they'd have to be satisfied. That's not what they're thinking. Here's Cole Peterson, who wants to change that story. But as Dave has told you, very well marked. Still, he works his way through there and sends it high.
Wanted to get that shot off. He did. Probably not the best spot to do that, but
shot number 10 for Pierre. And yes, it is Ryland Dairy back in for Landon Bertram. We're now into the 76th minute. Just a little under 5 minutes left at the PILC Soccer Complex. Pierre 3 in green, Watertown 3 in white. With the girls' action for you a little later at GoGovs Live and at the River 92.7 page at the DRG News app and at drgnews.com. The Governor teams go to Mitchell, Joe Quintal Field, to play those Colonels on Thursday. Have you been to Mitchell yet since you've moved here?
I've been through a few times. I like the Holiday gas station right off of 90.
Oh, that works.
That's a great spot.
You got to see the Corn Palace sometime, though.
That is on the list.
Oh, it's an amazing place. And a pretty fun place to do a basketball game, I can tell you.
I would bet. Yeah, it's one of those throwback places. You got to love those.
Tommy Dorsey played there once upon a time.
Well, how about that?
Anyway, that's where the Governors will be on Thursday. Mitchell football, don't forget, at Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field on Friday night, 6:30 here on GoGovs Live and on River 92.7 and on the River 92.7 page at the DRG News app and at drgnews.com with Mr. Brian Oakland. And then Saturday night, Brian will have Governor Volleyball for you. That program, by the way, that Governor Volleyball program has not started 4-0 since 2015. That's what they'll try to do on Saturday against a good Aberdeen Central team at the Riggs High Gym.
Boy, have they been playing well.
Yes, they have. Looked really good over the weekend in Rapid City. Beating Stevens, having to hold on after taking the first 2 sets over the Raiders last Friday night, and then really controlling the match last Saturday against the Central Cobblers. Well, Watertown back to the muck of midfield. Not how they look at it. That's how Pierre describes it. Brewers trying to regain it. We have now reached the 78th minute. Watertown and Pierre are even at 3. Watertown 0-4-1, Pierre at 3-2. Look out for Cole Peterson now. Oh, but right there is Mikkel Brownell.
That Arrow defense, again, just stifling. They've done that all game long.
It does end up in a Pierre corner. Only the second one they've had in the match. Let's see if they can do something with it. It'll be Cole Peterson to take it. Brewers out front, Derry in the middle. In swing, doesn't quite in swing all the way.
Yeah, I don't think quite what he was looking for. It just, I don't know if the wind caught that a little bit. It just went a little further than he was planning.
Just under 2 minutes left. We're in the 79th minute now. I believe it's a throw in here. Yes, it is for Watertown. But I say maybe satisfied with a draw. They wanted to make a rush there to take the lead, but instead it's Rylandary for Pierre. Peterson's on his left flank. Oh, good play by Brownell. Boy, Brownell's made some good plays defensively for Watertown. Flottmeyer trying to outrace Fisher, and Fisher did put the boot into him a little bit.
It's not letting him get away with that one.
We're down to the last 65 seconds of this match. 3-all. They want Peterson. But Bowling again sends it out. Caden Morris, but a little bit too far for Brewers, and it leads to a Watertown throw-in. 42 seconds to play. Peter Tomta controlling it there for Pierre. That's Andrew Check at midfield for Watertown. 24 seconds to play. Oh, slipping a little bit there is Schlickenmeyer, but back there to help him is Kaniga. Watertown with another chance, but Aharts is there to block it aside, but it's going to end up in a Watertown corner. They will have a chance with just a few seconds remaining. But they're not going to have the chances when the horn blows. That's it. And it's not like the upper levels of soccer where the official looks at his watch. No, it doesn't work that way here.
No stoppage time.
But for the Watertown Arrows, what has to be, they wanted to win, you know it. But what has to be a satisfying 3-3 draw with the Pierre Governors. And yeah, the Governors get the point out of it, Dave, but not what they wanted today.
No, not at all. And they were just smothered all game long. They could not do their run and gun. I mean, the 3 goals they got, they were able to find lanes at that time, but as much as they tried and they pushed and worked, and it just, the Arrows really just clogged it up, as you said, and just made it hard on them all game long.
But it was Rylandary who saved the point for the Governors with his second of the match in the 72nd minute, but Watertown comes out with their second draw. Thanks to the folks here at the PILC. Thanks to Athletic Director Brian Mosier. Thanks to Caleb Brozick for production. For Big Daddy Dave Williams, David Burrow. Again, the final score, the Pierre Indian Learning Center Soccer Complex in boys action. The Watertown Arrows 3, the Pierre Governors 3. We'll be back in about a half hour at GoGovs Live and really River 92.7 page at the DRG News app and at drgnews.com for girls action.